Hello there.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Chicken Bell's Cosplays. As you can see, I built myself a wonderful Mangle cosplay over here from the video game Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And in this video, I'll be showing you guys how I built her from beginning to finish. And once she's finished, we'll be testing to see how scary she is by ordering pizza from 3 different locations and seeing the reactions of the pizza delivery drivers when Mangle enters the door. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first challenge of this cosplay presented itself right off the bat. Mangle's not humanoid. She's an amalgamation of random animatronic body parts that was a sort of a take-apart, put-together attraction at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in the game. So the challenge was to design this cosplay in a way that could be worn on my body. I ended up going with a design that had my main body positioned inside of the endoskeleton ribcage piece, with Mangle's head being puppeted on my arm. So with my blueprint and plans all done, it was time to set to work. I began with her head and fleshed it out using EVA foam. Using measuring sticks, I sketched out the pattern for the main body of her head and cut it out. From there, I used painter's tape to attach the seams together and get a preview of how the head shape was coming on. Once satisfied with the shape, I glued the seams together with some contact cement. And soon enough, I had the base head all glued together. I constructed a wooden frame to attach the foam head to. This both provided structural support and a point where I could install the mechanics of the hinge mechanism that would open and close her jaw. Next, I smithed some EVA foam into her muzzle and attached it to the main head. Then for her ears, I attached 2 hinged beams to the wooden framework inside the head. I then attached the ears to these beams, so as I tilted the head, her ears would swing from side to side, giving the head some extra animation and movement. I also created her lower jaw out of EVA foam and attached it to the main head. Here I'm showing how I used a trigger-powered mechanism on the handle to open and close her jaw. Unfortunately, I didn't record any footage of me building this part, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here right now. Okay, so here's how it works. So pretty much right inside here, you can see I've got this little metal trigger right here. So as I pull on this, it pushes down on this little lovely wooden rod here, which connects to the bottom of the jaw here. And so pretty much as I pull the trigger with my finger, makes her jaw open and close, and these lovely springs on the sides help kind of pull her jaw back up in place. So that's simply how her jaw works. Now that the base head was all finished, I decided to move on with the rest of her body, starting with her hands. I crafted them to be much thicker than they are in game because I needed to fit my head inside one of them. Though I would soon realize that these hands were a little too thick and wouldn't end up working. Then I foam smithed 8 large fat fingers out of EVA foam and attached them to the palms. Next, I took things down to ground level and constructed one of her feet. Mangle has 3 legs, but only one of them still has its white outer shell on, so I decided to build this one first. I began by attaching an old shoe to a piece of wood, and this would provide both a little extra height and a point where I could attach the foam facade of her foot to. From there, I crafted the foot out of EVA foam while gluing it to the piece of wood. With several elements of Mangle's body done now, I was starting to see the vision come to life. I next crafted the support arm for Mangle's head. To help me bear the weight of Mangle's large head, I constructed a wooden support frame for my right arm. With a spring attached from my shoulder area to my wrist, this was able to take half the weight of Mangle's head off my arm. I covered the wooden support with EVA foam rings to simulate the metal endoskeleton that Mangle's body is made out of. I also went ahead and crafted the left arm facade as well. Okay, so we're now on to the next part of Mangle, and that would be her main body, this kind of rib cage structure right here. So what I've got is this hiker's backpack frame, or what's also referred to as an Alice frame. I use the same one of these type of things from Music Man. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build this sort of ribcage structure as like a facade over the top of this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this facade be able to detach as well using these little parachute clips right here. 4 of them, so like 2 here and 2 here, so that way I'll be able to put the frame on and then be able to clip the facade over my chest. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take some foam, clip on this facade, and make this happen. Using a combination of EVA foam and heat-bending plastic, I created the ribcage section that would attach to the Alice frame. I used carbon fiber tubes to create the long endoskeleton arm that'll be on my left arm. Carbon fiber is a very strong and lightweight material that I found to be perfect for creating sturdy framework structures for my large cosplays. After adding on the foam rings, this limb of Mangle was all done. Now it was time to build her second head, which is an endoskeleton head without the outer shell. I began by creating its attachment point on the back of the Alice frame. Using a wooden drawer slider, I created a point where the second head support arm could easily slide in and out of place. I wanted to give the second head a bit of movement as well, so I attached a servo motor to the top of the support arm. Then I crafted the second head out of EVA foam and attached it to the servo motor. I finished off this section by adding some more foam rings to add substance to the support arm. Next came her tail, and this was a simple and enjoyable experience. I used a foam ball to create the end of her tail and EVA foam to form the body of it. Using more carbon fiber tubes, I created the support structure for Mangle's second arm. This is when I realized that I had made her hands too big, so I tore the fingers off the oversized palms and built new ones that were much more proportionate to the body, and could still fit my head inside one of them. From there, I created the outer foam layers of the arm and attached the hand on. At this point, I did another suit-up test to get a better feeling for how the whole costume was going to move and function. Using another piece of wood, I attached my other old shoe to it and created the support system for the third leg attachment. I designed this mechanical layout like how I created the mechanical leg system for my DJ Music Man cosplay, but on a smaller scale. Once that was done, I decided that it was time to go back to Mangle's head and finish it off. I started by taking it apart and dremeling each part nice and smooth. Then after priming each piece, I used spray paint to give each part their base color. For her eyes, I used 2 halves of a transparent Christmas ornament that I spray painted the insides of to give each their base color. From there, I attached them onto a wooden beam and began the process of creating her mechanical eyelids. Using a small servo motor to power them, I got her eyelids to blink periodically using a bit of coating. Then it was time to reattach all her head pieces back together and add on the final details and accessories. Then at long last her head was fully completed. I used a large Christmas bow for her bow tie and attached it onto the mechanical arm that I used to support her head. She was really starting to come to life at this point, but still had a little way to go before being completed. I turned to the other body parts that I had built and began to dremel and finish them as I had done with her head. During this process, I created a wired necklace that would help fill in the blank spaces in the ribcage area. I finished with completing the second head, and after some more coating, I got it to turn side to side periodically. At this point, I had hit the final stretch, the legs. I started by using EVA foam to build the remaining 2 endoskeleton feet. Next came the other leg pieces, all of which were crafted out of more EVA foam. Once all 3 legs were crafted, it was time to paint all of them and add the final hand-painted details. This is always the fun part after all the rigorous and careful crafting. I get to paint on all the dirty and rusty details onto each cosplay piece. And with the completion of this step, my dear Mangle cosplay was complete. And so, without any further ado, let's do that! Alright guys, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Let's order some pizzas. Alright everybody, it's nearly time to get the pizzas all ordered up here. I've got my wonderful henchman right here.
Sorry, I can't resist.
And so the game plan is this. So right over here, we're going to have 2 cameras set up. Okay, so right over here, we'll have camera number 1 right over here. And this camera is going to help capture kind of the inside out views from behind Mangle out to the main front door over here. And then out here, we're going to have this lovely GoPro camera right here. This dog up here is going to be up in the gutter right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just scare some pizza delivery drivers. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
So we set up the cameras and laid in wait for our first delivery driver. Excellent. Go ahead and get your position. We'll wait.
Okay. Got any good stories while we wait?
And you know,
Tell you what, though. In the meantime, let's take this off so we can breathe. So you can see and breathe, I guess.
I get standing on this for 20 minutes now. I'm so excited. And so we waited. And it was right about the point where I was feeling like this was taking too long when we got some unfortunate news.
Any update on the pizza?
Take your time to the door.
What? Oh, it is.
Guess they're not getting that extra tip.
Aww.
Yeah, the delivery driver, she just left it on the porch and walked off. Unfortunate, but we were not deterred because we were ready to try again. So we ordered another pizza and got ourselves back in position. Everything good?
Yeah, I'm just checking the camera again. Come on.
And this time we didn't have to wait too long until we heard a ring at the door.
Hello. You are long. Is pizza gonna be enough for you? All right, thank you. How's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Is there somebody in there? Or no?
There is someone.
Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah, I thought so. All right, have a good night.
You too.
You have a robotic night, okay?
At this point, we were relieved with our victory and honestly just kind of tired, so we didn't bother ordering our third pizza. Alright guys, we have done it. We've got our sumptuous feast right here, so I think that is just to a mission success, right?
Indeed.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, and I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed what you saw today. And if you did, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!